Welcome back. It's easy to get a little depressed at this time of year, since the third week in January is when a lot of holiday bills come rolling in. For many people, it can seem overwhelming. For more, we're joined now by CTV Chief Financial Commentator Pattie Lovett-Reid. Pattie.
We know it can be overwhelming when you look at these stats from the Superintendent of Bankruptcy. What you tend to start to see is the debt levels are definitely climbing, but so are bankruptcies. At the end of November, they were higher by 8.9% year over year. When December's numbers coming in, many are suggesting it's going to be sort of the same scenario. And so, yes, those bills do start to come in now and over the next couple of weeks. And for many, it is so overwhelming. It can be shocking. Sometimes it's not been tracked. And signs that you know you're in financial trouble, and we often talk about it, but the first was, if you have a credit card that's maxed out, I'm not talking even 100%. I am talking about if you've used more than 70% of your available limit, many would suggest that that's typically a sign to say that you're living closer to the margin than you probably should. Creditors will start calling if you're already delinquent. You don't want to open the mail. You don't want to answer the phone. And when you use that credit card for day-to-day living expenses, often a sign that there's just not enough money coming in to make ends meet, and there's a bigger financial issue. I would like to say I've been reached out by a couple of different areas over the last week because it happens every year. The Canadian Association of Insolvency and Restructuring Professionals, Credit Canada. I mean, there is still a stigma around declaring bankruptcy. And the stigma is such that the weight on individuals is so significant. They'll do anything. And I can give an anecdotal comment around this as well. Last week I was reached out by a young man, literally, and he said, I'm working with a guy and his parents invited him home over the holidays only to find that they're near financial ruin. They're going to lose their home. No idea in the family because the parents are and asked him for some money, and he did give some money, $5,000. That is not going to solve the problem. This is a young guy as well, and I don't have any more money. So the really savvy person here is going to say, okay, these bills are coming in. I was in financial trouble before the holidays. I need to know where I stand, and I need to get some help.
It sounds like this is the time of year for people in this position or close to this position to really trim their spending. Stay away from restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Don't make luxury impulse purchases.
That's right. And, you know, the number of people I've talked to about this, they said going into the holidays, they knew they were in financial difficulty. They knew they were already avoiding their bills. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen through one holiday season. It's probably been accumulative over the last couple of years, because for a period of time you can make ends meet. You can borrow from one credit card to pay off another credit card. You can use a line of credit. And so the options that you talked about being available, if you reach out and get a third party to say, okay, let's look at this situation, you may get debt restructuring. You could get consolidation, consumer proposals. I mean, there is help out there if you find yourself in this situation.
Rob, do you have conversations on these topics with your clients?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just budget, make sure your spending's in control, and obviously pay down the highest debt first. And my dad used to say, when you can't pay your credit card bill, cut it. That's what he used to tell me.
We'll leave it there. Thanks.
Parents always have the best advice.
Thanks a great deal. Pattie Lovett-Reid, as always. You can see her blogs on our website. Coming up, we'll have